Welcome back to Stamps Old World UK, a channel where history, art, and collecting come together through the small but powerful world of postage stamps. Today's video is dedicated to one of the most famous and most collected stamps in the world, the United States 1-cent George Washington stamp in green. This stamp may look simple at first glance, foundation of a nation. The portrait used on this stamp is based on a classical image of Washington that was chosen to reflect dignity, stability, and trust. Green was selected as the color for the 1-cent denomination because it was calm, economical to print, and easy to recognize. Millions upon millions of these stamps were printed, making them one of the most familiar stamps ever produced by the United States. This stamp was mainly used for everyday mailing purposes, especially for newspapers, postcards, and local mail. Because it was produced in extremely large quantities over several years, many examples survived. That is one of the key reasons why centering, gum quality for unused stamps, perforation type, printing method, and whether the stamps are popular with collectors who focus on historical representation rather than investment value. Unused stamps with original gum in good condition are more desirable. If the stamp has intact gum, no creases, no stains, and reasonably good centering, the value can increase to around $160 to $400. Very well-centered examples with fresh color and clean gum may sometimes reach $500, especially if sold individually and properly described. However, prices above this level are usually only seen in stamps that have been graded or certified. There are also special cases where the value can rise significantly. Certain printing varieties, such as coil versions, booklet panes, unusual perforations, or known printing errors can be worth much more. Some rare varieties of 1-cent Washington stamps have sold for hundreds or even thousands of US, but these are exceptions and require expert identification. This is why professional catalogs and expert opinions are essential when you believe you may have something unusual. Condition is everything in today's stamp market. Modern collectors are very selective, and even a common stamp can lose most of its value if it has tears, thins, heavy cancellations, or discoloration. On the other hand, a well-preserved example can still attract buyers because it represents a clean piece of postal history. Storage also plays a role, as stamps kept in dry, cool conditions away from sunlight maintain their quality far better over time. From an investment point of view, the standard 1-cent George Washington green stamp is considered a non-high return item. Its value is more historical and educational than financial. However, it remains extremely important as a foundation stamp. Many collectors enjoy building full collections of Washington issues, studying design changes, paper types, and printing methods. This educational value keeps demand steady, even if prices remain modest. In today's global stamp market, driven largely by online auctions and collector communities, these stamps are still actively traded. Dealers often include them in starter collections or thematic lots. For beginners, this stamp is perfect because it's affordable, widely available, and rich in history. For advanced collectors, it offers endless study opportunities in varieties and production details. To summarize the current market value in US dollars, most common used examples range from 1 cent to $1. Average unused examples range from $1 to $5, and premium quality or special varieties can range much higher depending on rarity and condition. Always remember that stamp prices can change based on demand, condition trends, and collector interest, so values are best seen as guidelines rather than fixed rules. Next up, the 1-cent George Washington commemorative stamp issued in 1932 to mark the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. This stamp is not just a piece of postage, it is a tribute to one of the most important figures in world history and a key item in American philately. The 1932 1-cent Washington stamp was released as part of a special commemorative series celebrating Washington's bicentennial. Unlike regular definitive stamps that were printed for everyday use over many years, this stamp was issued for a specific historical event. The design is more decorative and formal, featuring a strong classical frame around Washington's portrait, symbolizing respect, leadership, and national pride. The dates 1732 and 1932 printed on the stamp clearly highlight its commemorative purpose and set it apart from earlier Washington issues. This stamp was printed in green and had a face value of 1 cent, which made it widely used for postcards and standard mail during the early 1930s. Because of its low denomination, a large number of stamps were printed and used, but many collectors at the time also saved examples as souvenirs of the bicentennial celebration. As a result, both used and unused copies are still commonly found today, although condition plays a major role in determining market value. When discussing the market value of the 1932 1-cent Washington stamp in today's US dollar terms, it is important to understand that most examples are considered affordable collector stamps rather than rare investment pieces. A used stamp with average centering, a visible cancellation, and no major damage typically sells for around 25 to 80 cents US dollar. These are often included in mixed lots or sold individually by dealers who specialize in classic US stamps. Unused examples without original gum or with disturbed gum generally sell in the range of 100 to 200 US dollars. These stamps still attract collectors who prefer clean designs and historical significance, even if the gum is not perfect. Unused stamps with full original gum, no creases, and fresh color are more desirable and usually sell for around 250 to 500 US dollars, depending on centering and overall appearance. Well-centered unused examples with pristine original gum can sometimes reach values of 600 to 800 US dollars, especially when sold by reputable dealers or presented in protective mounts. While these prices may seem modest, they reflect steady demand rather than speculation. This stamp remains popular because it represents an important anniversary and is visually attractive, making it appealing to both beginners and experienced collectors. There are no major rare varieties associated with this stamp, which keeps its value stable rather than dramatic. However, minor differences in perforation quality, printing sharpness, and paper can still interest specialized collectors. As with all classic stamps, any example with faults such as tears, fins, stains, or heavy creases will have significantly reduced value, sometimes only a few cents. From a collecting perspective, the 1932 1-cent Washington stamp holds strong educational and historical value. It represents a moment when the United States chose to honor its first president through postal art during a time of national reflection. Many collectors include this stamp in thematic collections related to American presidents, national anniversaries, or historical commemoratives. In today's stamp market, this issue is widely available through online auctions, stamp fairs, and dealer stockbooks. Its affordability makes it an excellent choice for collectors building a classic United States collection without spending large amounts of money. While it may not deliver high financial returns, it offers lasting value in terms of history, design, and collecting enjoyment. To summarize its market value in US dollars today, most used examples range from 25 cents to $1. Average unused examples range from $1 to $3, and high-quality unused stamps with original gum may reach up to $10 in strong retail settings. These values can vary slightly based on condition, presentation, and market demand, but they remain fairly stable over time. Next up, the 1-cent George Washington stamp from the early 20th century, a design that became a true symbol of American postal history and everyday communication. This 1-cent George Washington stamp belongs to the definitive issues that were produced for regular daily postal use. The portrait of George Washington is calm, formal, and respectful, reflecting the importance of stability and trust in the postal system. The design is simple yet elegant, with Washington's profile framed by ornamental elements that give the stamp a balanced and dignified appearance. The green color once again represents the 1-cent denomination, a tradition that continued for many years in the United States postal system. These stamps were printed in extremely large quantities because the 1-cent rate was widely used for postcards, newspapers, circulars, and local mail. As a result, this stamp became one of the most familiar images to Americans during that period. Almost every household would have seen or used this stamp, which is why it remains so common in collections today. Despite its common nature, it holds great historical importance because it reflects how communication worked before the digital age. When we discuss the so widely available, used stamps in slightly better condition with lighter cancellations and clearer design details may reach values of around $60. These are often purchased by beginner collectors or those filling gaps in album pages. Heavy cancellations, poor centering, tears, or stains will reduce the value significantly, sometimes to almost nothing from a financial perspective. Unused examples without original gum or with damaged gum usually sell in the range of $70 to $150. These stamps still appeal to collectors who value appearance and historical context rather than perfection. Unused stamps with full original supply remain strong. True rarity only appears when specific varieties, such as unusual perforations, printing errors, or coil versions, are correct. 1-cent George Washington stamps are regularly bought and sold through online platforms, stamp fairs, and traditional dealers. Prices remain stable, not because of investment demand, but because of consistent interest from collectors worldwide. For beginners, this stamp offers an affordable entry into classic United States stamps. For experienced collectors, it offers depth, history, and endless variation. To summarize the current market value in US dollars, most common used examples range from 1 cent to $1. Average unused examples range from 50 cents to $3, and higher quality unused stamps with original gum may reach up to $5 or slightly more dollars in retail settings. These values depend strongly on condition, centering, and presentation, and should always be treated as general guidelines rather than fixed prices. Thank you for spending your time with Stamps Old World UK and continuing this long journey through the world of classic George Washington stamps. If you enjoy detailed explanations, honest market values, and deep stamp history, please support the channel by subscribing and sharing. Every stamp tells a story, and together we keep those stories alive.